Welcome back, woodworkers. We've got another interesting project for today, and it's going to be a child's doll bed. And you know, I'll do a little name dropping, the American doll, American Girl doll, the different names for it. This is an 18-inch long doll, and what we're going to do today is make a doll bed that will fit one of these big dolls. My great-granddaughter, I made one for her a year ago, I believe it was, and my other great-granddaughter from another family came up to me last weekend and she said, "Great-grandpa, would you please make me a doll bed like Kaylee's?" And I couldn't resist. I had to do it. So I'm going to make a video while I do this, and hopefully this will make sense to you and you'll like it well enough to try to make one of your own. I'll be willing to give you some patterns. I just kind of sketched them out, and they'll come on a PDF if you would like them. And so let's get going. Okay, here we've got the footboard all laid out, and what I've done is to cut dado along each side of this. This is 1/2 inch and I want to get it down to 3/8. And in the legs I have cut a 3/8 slot here with the router. So now they will go together. Well, I'm not quite through. I've got to cut a little relief top and bottom here in order to fit into the hole and not have a jagged edge on where my router bit went. So I'll do that next. Okay, now we're ready to go together. You see where I've rounded it over here and made a little relief so that you won't be seeing the router cut here when it's glued together. Did the same on both sides. So now it should just fit right together. And from that point I'm going to go over and do the glue up. Well, we're getting there. We've got the headboard and the footboard put together. Now we have to make the side rails and put the platform in for the mattress to lay on. I think I'm going to use either 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 inch with some slats underneath the plywood for the base. And it'll be ready for the doll. Well, not quite. Still have to stain it and whatever. I think I'm going to use Watco Danish Oil on it. That makes a nice finish, and we'll be done after that. I clamped it all together here so that you can kind of get an idea what the completed bed looks like. The footboard is the one closest to us, and of course the headboard on the other end. What I did on my side rails, I put a little 1/4 inch relief here, so we've got something other than just raw plywood looking out the side. So the plywood will lay in here and be flush with the top, and it'll make it look a lot nicer that way. The other thing that I've done that I didn't show on the video was that I did all of my hand sanding. I kind of eased over the edges of the bedposts so that they're not going to have any sharp slivers or anything on them. And I think it's coming along pretty good. Well, there's a straight-on shot with the piece of plywood put in for the bottom under the mattress, and then I'll move it around and we'll see some shots from the headboard and the footboard. There's a nice shot of the footboard. Now let's see if I can turn it around and you can see the headboard. Keep in mind that I haven't sanded off the wood filler here. What I did, I tacked the centerpiece in as well as glued it because I thought that would make it a little bit stronger. Girls are supposed to be dainty, but sometimes they get a little careless and have problems. So I figured I'd make it strong enough so it would hold up a real person. I've extended the rails out to where they're flush with the headboard post, and so that gives me a place to nail there and glue. And also I put a screw straight into the wood right here. So I think it's going to be really strong. I don't think it'll give anybody any trouble. And since I did mortise and tenon here on hooking up everything, it ought to be pretty stout. So the next thing is to get our Danish oil and finish it off after I sand off the filler. Okay, the Watco Danish oil, the instructions on it says that you use a clean dry cloth, and that you want to test it on a piece of material that's similar to what you're working on, or underneath where it's not visible. So what I've got is a block of wood here that I'm going to use for the test. So and also said to shake it up vigorously. Good idea, I guess. There it comes. I wonder why it's just stuck on there. Somebody must have not got it sealed properly. Oh boy. Alrighty, now let's see what happens. Here's some, and we'll put it on one end and see how it looks. Let's put it on generously. If it wants to soak in, why give it a little more time. Well, that seems to be staying on the surface. Well, here you can see the comparison between natural and the part that I finished with the Danish oil. I think it's going to be a real nice color, don't you? This is Western alder that I've been working with, by the way. It takes a nice even coat of penetrating varnish or whatever you want to put on it. But comparing this to, well, here's a piece of pine, eastern pine I believe. Maybe they call it southern pine. Anyway, you can see the difference. This is more of a opaque, almost transparent, the way it stains on that piece compared to the alder. The alder gives it kind of a nice dark look, almost like close to a light colored walnut. It's going to look real nice. So now our next step is to do the bed and give it time to dry. I think it said 8 to 10 hours before it can be used. And then if you want to put a poly finish on it, well then you've got to let it go for another 72 hours, and then you can put on the poly. That way everything gets dried out that you put on it, then you won't have any reaction between the two materials. Well, there's what it looks like with the Danish oil finish on it. It looks really good to me. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Talk to you later.